Hey guys, welcome back to your Women's Gear Review channel, and today we are reviewing the Pakt Travel Backpack 35 litre. In this review, we have gone ahead and sectioned it off into a summary, features, fit check, comfortability. We're going to pack out the bike as well so you can get into it. We're going to do a wee airline test, water test, and then run through some pros and cons. And of course, if there is anything that we have missed about this backpack that you would like to know, then just pop us a comment below and we'll be sure to get back to you. Okay, let's get cracking on with the summary. So this is priced at $325 US. So it is made up with recycled nylon, PFC free DWR coating. You've got YKK zippers and Duraflex hardware as well. As mentioned, it is at 35 litre and the dimensions are 21.5 by 12.5 by 8 in inches, and it is a weight of 4.1 pounds. The colours you can currently get it in are the black, green and the blue. In terms of the shape and style, I have to say for a travel backpack, they have kind of nailed it in terms of the aesthetics. It's not something that is overdone. It's not overly flashy. Whilst it's absolutely gorgeous, it's not in your face. It's kind of less attractive to a thief's eye, and I mean that in the most complimentary way. I feel like they haven't just overdone it like with their other backpacks that I've reviewed, the 15 litre and the 22 litre. It is remaining in that kind of sleek silhouette as well. Depends on how much you're going to pack it out to. It doesn't feel too overwhelming with that kind of style as well. Luckily, it is sitting up by itself, which we love to see from a travel backpack, because there's nothing more annoying than setting your bag down after carrying it for a long period of time and then it falling over. Style wise, I definitely just prefer a more of a coated look to my travel kind of backpacks, but that's just personal preference. Doesn't take away from the fact that this backpack is really durable and ready. I did take it away with me for about 5 to 7 days away up in Crete, and it packed out really well. It kind of helps you keep minimal in your packing too, and that's something I need to practice as well. So it was nice to have a little bit of organization and then the space, but also that flexibility to shove everything in. They do offer lifetime guarantee. They offer international shipping and returns. Okay, let's get cracking on with the features. I do love that their branding is quite simple, especially for a travel backpack. It's not in your face, overdone. It's quite sleek and to the point here. So you've got some on the straps, and as you would have seen there, some embedded on the front. Externally, you have a few things going on, but it's not overwhelming. Again, with the kind of design that they've gone for, it remains quite intact. Nothing's like flapping all about. There is storage space for everything, and it can have this kind of sleek silhouette to it. Otherwise, you can start like extending and adding to this bike too. So you've got this bike light here. If you wanted to, you could place that there, or if you had anything else, then you could do that on the bottom here as well. Handle wise, you've got one here on the top. It's just that seatbelt material, really well cushioned. You've got the same kind of style here on the side. So you've got two here on the side, which is quite handy if you wanted to carry it like that. Then you could do so. And then you have one here at the bottom, which I didn't think was gonna be handy, but it really helps when you are trying to get it from like overhead lockers or under the seat in front of you. On this side, then you have your kind of designated water bottle compartment. You of course can fit in an umbrella, your tripod, whatever you feel like placing in there. It has a little bit of stretch to it. Again, a little bit of branding, nothing overdone here. You've got plenty of space. We are going to pack the bag up so you will be able to see what we can get into that. Nice bit of elastic so it does open up for those bigger water bottles. And then you have a little bit of elastic here. You can tie it around to your products and keep it well secured in. And throughout the bag, you're going to notice little points here, like loopholes that you can externally attach to. So you'll find that throughout the bag, even if you don't want to use those straps and you have your own, then you can do that. But these ones are just tucked in like so. So say you just didn't want to use them, then there is a designated spot for them to just sit in. If you wanted to not use them, then you kind of clip that on like so. You can tighten that in if you want to, and then you'll do the same to the other side. So if you did have something bigger that you wanted to fit through there, then you have the option to do so. You will have then the same, as mentioned, designated points here. You've got those two straps again that you can attach onto. You can loop something through there if you want to do. If you had anything that you, like a sleeping bag or anything like that, or an extra jacket, tripod, then you can place those right there. The handles may get in the way, but at least If you wanted to extend, then you can do that, and then you can tuck them back into the sides. You do have also this little hook here, which is handy for hanging the bag up. So that's kind of what you got going on externally. Now for every zip, you do have these kind of custom pullers here. There is a lot of them, you can see, and just to be noted that the zips aren't coated, which if you are new here, I am a fan of a coated zips. We're going to start off with this pocket here. This is kind of covered, so you can kind of hide it and make it a bit more discreet. Open this up, then you do have that gorgeous material on the inside. It's really soft. The pocket is quite large. When you do start packing up the bag, I had to take this away with me, and I found that the more you pack on the inside, then these kind of pockets become much more tighter, so just being aware of that. Nice easy clean material. Let's just space in there. I enjoy this kind of bag because it just allows you to pack it up how you want rather than a lot of organization. Then moving on to the second pocket, so that's one compartment and this is another. Could have just made one pocket, maybe that would have been a bit easier, but this is going to be like your main organization for the bag. Kind of stops on each side like so, but enough for you to kind of open it up and see. Like that. Really nice material here. You've got two loops here for pens if you want to. Then this is a magnetic pocket here. This is where you can place in your keys. This is a nice pop of color. I do like that, but this is a bit, it's really strong and durable, don't get me wrong, but I do prefer a more of a metal hardware for the key lash, but you can plop that in there if you want. Just to give you a size for that pocket in case you're thinking of putting electronics in there. If you want to go below the elastic, it's about 6.5 inches. If you want to go above that, the pocket itself is about 8 inches. Then across 10.5. Then you have another smaller pocket here, and in that pocket is a smaller kind of pocket. If you did have like an air tag, you could place that in there if you wanted to. It's going to be really hard to show you, but it's really discreet, and it's inside this pocket here in front of the magnetic one. That really easy clean material again. I absolutely adore their materials on the inside of their bags. It's so soft. Then you've got this little zipped mesh pocket. Now this mesh is really durable as well, so no chances of wear and tear on this one. And that is just a smaller pocket. Again, just a little bit of organization. They're not throwing it in your face. It's not overdone. I really like this little compartment. Then that there is on the front, as mentioned, just being aware when you do pack the bag, it can become a little bit tight, especially this pocket here. That becomes kind of off limits, depending on what you're shoving in there. So moving on from these two pockets, you've got this opening here. It can get a little bit confusing with all these zips, like to what kind of opening is which, but you'll figure it out, no doubt. Pulling that opened. This is like your extension here. If you want to expand this up, then you have that extra room to do so with the bag. To be fair, when I took it away, I was away for like 5 nights, and I didn't actually need the expansion open, and I kind of forgot that I had it there, and I was trying to shove everything in and realized that I had that expansion, so that was a nice little treat. From that expansion, you've got this kind of top grabbing pocket. So say you didn't want to open up the bag into suitcase mode and you just wanted to come from the top and you've packed it in a certain way, you can do that from coming from here, right? But you're just going to have to pack it in a way that your stuff's on the top for quicker access, or you are going to dig deep down into the bag. It might have been nice to have like a pocket here, but that is how you can kind of come through there. These stop on both sides, like the moon shaped. So if you're not opening up the clam or the suitcase style opening, then you can come from there. Then moving on from that back pocket, so extension, top grabbing style, then we're going into suitcase like this. And you can kind of see that that pocket that we were coming from the top is to this side of the bag. So you would come like here, like that. It just gives you a bit of an idea. This is the mesh side. You do have this pocket, so that doesn't like take up the other space. This is its own separate little pocket here that runs right down. That's handy for like underwear, socks and all that jazz. This is really durable mesh as well. quite stretchy, so you do really get the max in how much you can pack this out. Then you've got 2 daisy chains here, which pair well with their accessories if you wanted to attach anything here. If you have packing cubes, camera gear, or anything else, then you have plenty of loops to do so, and then the rest is just space for you to pack up with. I never use the daisy chains because I don't have anything to pack up with it. I usually just fire clothes in. If you prefer more organization, then you could use packing cubes and things like that. So we'll just close that one up. It's just space again, long. Then this side is well padded, right? This is absolutely stunning. So even when it is clamping onto this, you don't have to worry about if you did have really good valuables in on either side, then them coming together is absolutely grand because of this padding. I have a pocket here that runs right up to the top, nice and cozy, and then runs right down to the bottom. I'm going to give you a measurement of that pocket. Obviously it's going to be a little bit awkward if you are trying to get something in there and you want it to go up to the top. I'll just give you a measurement of the whole pocket itself. About 18.5 across, about 11. I want to see if I can get this 14-inch in there to just give you a little bit of a rough idea. If you wanted to, that fits lovely like a glove. You could place that in there if you had electronics and you felt safe in doing so. Bear in mind this is well padded as mentioned, so I don't feel the need to pad up the laptop. Then going in, again, a lot of pillars. You're opening up this space, and as mentioned, the more you're kind of like packing this, the more the front pockets kind of become a bit compromised. But this is your back system here. As you can see, it's really well thick. And this is where the hardware is if you wanted to. I don't know why you would, but if you wanted to take it out, then you could find a way in doing that. That is there. This is the rest of space. As mentioned, you can open up that expansion, Jesus, and you know, create more space for yourself. It's just love the fact that you have that range to do that yourself. If you're in more for organization, I highly recommend checking out Knack bags is a good shout for organization. I think they overdo it, but in a way that people might prefer. So moving on to the back system, we have, now I'm not a fan of these straps just for the pure fact that this is one, thick and just stuck in this position. There is no real, like, this is hard, rock hard here. But we'll get more into that in the fit check. You have load lifters, so we'll allow them away with the flaw of the strap because I absolutely adore load lifters. That just creates a better fit. Then you've got 2 little loopholes here. If you wanted to attach anything externally on the straps, then you could do so. Then you have the sternum strap. Now I just prefer a rotational one because then I don't have to take it out and replace it. But the advantage of that is that you can remove the sternum strap if you wanted to. You've got a wee dangle stopper here. This is really durable. This kind of hardware, I have found no issues with that. Usually sometimes it's like, oh, is it gonna last? But they're really strong and nice, and that's kind of similar hardware here. Now if you wanted to, you can completely detach the straps, take them off like that, and then you can tuck them in on the back. Bear with me. Tuck them down like that, and that just saves it. If you are using this as your carry-on, then it's better kind of saving your straps and tucking them away so they're not getting battered and stepped on and ruined and whatever other people do. And that is just nice to know. Lovely hardware again. This is the kind of hardware I like. It's just a little bit more easier to put on, and it's a bit more accessible for people who have injuries. Me. You do have meshed cushion here, right? Lord have mercy on us, it is rock hard. Rock hard. Now this is a bit softer though. This is lovely. A little bit of cushion as well. Still plenty of structure to kind of give you a nice back system so you're not soaking too deeply into it. It's kind of prompting your posture here. This is a different material on the kind of bottom of your lower back that you're going to have. And we are going to get into that in a second. You do have your luggage slit here. Place that over your big suitcase if you want to. This is a magnetic shut, which is really nice. At the bottom here, genius idea. You flap this open, then you have a pocket here, which you can place your ID in if you want to. That is quite secretive. Has these 2 like button closes. It says airport security, no problem. And then they have a link for you to check out for the TSA. Then at the bottom, this is where your hip belt is nice and snug on the bottom here, which is lovely because you can implement that if you want, but you can also completely remove it if you want to as well. But it kind of stays nice and secure there too. So even if you are leaving it on, but you don't want to use it, then you can kind of tuck it behind this lovely little flap that has a magnetic close too, so it just stays all secured in there. You do have a well-structured bottom as well, so I have no issues in setting this bike down. As mentioned, you do have that handle there, so over a period of time, depending on how much you're going to be setting it on the ground, that might just see some wear and tear over a long period of time, but other than that, grand. Okay, let's pack her on up. I'm going to do it similar to what I packed when I went away, which was a mixture of things. Of course, it's absolutely freezing as always here, so probably a million jumpers. You've got one jumper, two jumper, well, second one there, two tops, joggers, leggings. I'm gonna close that up. I'm gonna put socks, pants, and all that jazz in there. My laptop in there. That was the 12-inch. And I'm gonna put the charger in there with it, which is nice. The space packing cubes for this part. For the level 8 packing cube stuff, we still have a little bit of room. Chargers, there we go. Snacks, keys, like that. Phone, wallet, 500ml. I'm a little bit awkward because you would love to fold that, but with a Irish passport, it ain't possible. Not gonna work. So it would have to hang like that, which isn't too bad. Kind of gives you a little bit of security, but just for you to note. That's that all packed up. You can, of course, open up that extension, give you a little bit more wiggle room here in the front compartments as well as the main compartment. Okay, it's time for a wee fit check, comfortability, and see how this feels on the female body. This is the fit that I like. Obviously, you can adjust with your load lifters and your strap and your sternum strap. You do have plenty of material here. Obviously, I've gone ahead and twisted it. There we go. You can adjust that and move that. The straps are thick. Oh my God. It's like, yeah, just not the comfiest. It really does rub up onto your neck, and that is like, there's no wiggle room for that like softening. It's like, this is what the backpack though looks like on me. It's quite nice for a 35 litre. I do definitely feel the padding here on the back as well, so that is something. I do still really like it, even though the straps are really thick, especially if you're wearing like a thicker jacket, then you're never going to feel that. I was wearing it with my big puffer, and I had no idea that these straps were as thick, but see, when you start wearing something that is a little bit thinner, other than that, it doesn't like create a huge gap or anything, so I'm happy with that and happy with the kind of curve of the straps. The only thing is that they are super duper tough. We are going to implement the old hip belt. As mentioned, you can kind of stow that away if you never really wanted to use it. I didn't find that I had to use it, even with the amount of crap I took with me. I found that it was doable to kind of have this on my back because it was comfortable aside from the straps, but as mentioned, because I had the puffer on, I didn't really feel that. Then you have your ankle stopper. It kind of goes up to my waist, but that's there if you need it. It just adds a little bit more support. I just wanted to show you what that was like on. And of course you can remove that if you don't want it. So for a wee airline test, it's not fitting as a personal item. This is requirements for EasyJet. Sometimes it's really hard to lift the bag and put it into here, but let me just show you. This is a fully packed out. Because of the flexibility, this is quite different. Like, this is kind of just giving you a bit of reference. I feel like with their boxes, I've watched people literally punch their bags in. Yeah, I mean, I could go on about that because it's quite funny. And I would do the exact same. You can, of course, stow away your straps if you find that a bit easier. Obviously, this box is the other way, but it still kind of gives you the idea. Right. So, right. No. Listen. If you don't have this front pocket packed out like this, then it will fit in grand. I think though, with the kind of box, you do have the range to kind of push that in, and it should be fine for EasyJet. at your own risk. I do think if you are packing out that front pocket, then just grab a bag from duty free, shove all that into that bag, and Bob's your uncle, then you'll be fine. So for a water test, as mentioned, I just prefer for my travel backpack to have that kind of coating. This is grand. The water is fine. Obviously in those kind of seatbelt materials, that's where the water is going to hold a bit longer, but just be aware, not getting caught in too much of a heavy downpour. Okay, time for some pros and cons. Pro number one is definitely the flexibility and the interior material. I adore it. Another pro is how they kind of keep attention to detail here, especially with these little moments. A lot of brands just leave things like hanging about, where you can kind of tuck all the external straps away and there is a place for everything, which I adore. Another pro that I love is that they've implemented the little flap at the bottom where you can have your hip belt there and also a wee secret pocket. And big shout out for those load lifters. Okay, some cons is for a travel backpack, I want lockable zips. I want some sort of anti-theft implemented throughout my backpack. Also, this material is a hair dust fluff magnet and the straps aren't the comfiest. So that is the end of our review. We hope you enjoyed, and if you did, then why not consider joining the channel and hitting that subscribe button. If you do happen to have a wee gander over on their website and you're thinking about purchasing this bag or any of their other bags, I would be forever grateful if you could use our links below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.